Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and we are out here in the garage for another upcoming projects video. And let me remind everybody, if you're watching this video on the Texas Gun Vault 2, this is my second channel. It's my behind the scenes B channel, where it's just casual talk with my cell phone. That's all that I record with here. My main channel, the Texas Gun Vault, is a much more professionally made channel where you will see all of the reviews on the guns that I show today. So I have to make sure to put that information out there because I know sometimes people miss that. But I wanted to show some upcoming projects that I have because I was really busy today traveling around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, returning guns to people that have lent them to the channel. I've been trying to get through that big stack of guns that I had in for a review, and Jack number 1, the first person that lent guns to the channel named Jack, not Jack number 2, but Jack number 1, he surprised me because honestly I thought I had reviewed his entire collection, and there were two things that I hadn't. He goes, "Have you reviewed this?" I was like, "No." "Have you reviewed this?" "No." So he let me borrow them. So, and these are kind of cool because the reason I love the people that lend guns to the channel is they have different interests. And so, for example, D, who lends, a lot of like 2011 pistols and high-end guns, has a completely different collection than Jack number 1. And Jack number 1 is very different than Jack number 2. And everybody else, and then my friend Tony and Matt and Craig, and everybody has different kind of niches that they kind of follow in their gun ownership. And because everyone has this big variety, I'm able to produce content that is very, very diverse. And these two guns I think are really cool. And these are the types of stuff that I really kind of enjoy learning about because these are two guns that otherwise I never would have even known about or ever had the chance to shoot. And I like to document that because maybe putting them out there helps other people if they're looking for information on these guns, or maybe they find one in their collection, they inherit one, and they're like, what the heck is this? Well, the first one is a Beretta, and look at that old box. It's been a long time since Beretta has used cardboard boxes. Now, we all know the 92 series, right? The guns of the 92, 96 series. And then there's a lot of popularity now in the 80 series. You have the 84, the 85, the 86. What is the one in 22? The 82, I think? Anyway, everyone knows the 80 series. It's kind of the scaled down version of the 90 series. Well, this is something I didn't even know existed. Have you ever heard of the 70 series? Me either. Well, we are going to get a chance to shoot and review, of course, let me safety check it here, a Beretta 70S in 22 long rifle. So that is a lot bigger than their Bobcat, and definitely a little bit smaller and thinner than the 80 series, but I don't know if they make a 80 series gun anymore in 22 long rifle. So it still shares the Beretta kind of open slide design. And what's really cool about this is the barrel has the front sight, but look at that slide. It's actually cut out in the center to go around that front sight. And I think when it comes to its disassembly, the slide comes off the front, just like the 80 series, not like the Bobcat and the Tomcat where it comes up and off. So they had to put that little slot in there because the sight is in the barrel and for it to go around the sight. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Big old magazine button down here in the bottom of the grip, more of a European placement of it. I only have one magazine for this review, so hopefully it's going to work. And I asked Jack, I was like, hey, do you happen to have a second magazine for that? Because I'd like to do some tests. He goes, try finding one, and try finding one for an affordable price. I'm like, well, fair enough. These things are probably as rare as hen's teeth. So hopefully that's going to work well. What's also really interesting, and I have to look up the serial number on this, is this gun was not imported by Beretta. It was imported by the Bourbon, B-E-R-B-E-N Corporation of New York, New York. I seriously doubt they're still in business. So this thing has all the Italian proof marks on it. So I'm not 100% sure if this is a pre or post 68 Gun Control Act gun. Jack thinks it's going to be post because it has the adjustable sight, which would give it more import points. But I've seen some of the markings on this, and especially the ones that are imported by other companies that are pre. So I really will have to look that one up. So the Beretta 70S. Yeah, that's kind of a rare one. Do any of you guys own that? Or own one like this? It has a big old extractor on it right here. So that's going to be interesting. And it has all the box and, you know, paperwork with it. I mean, that is an old one. I guess this one says here Beretta 380 Auto, but this one, it has it pinned in 22 long rifle. So they must have made this gun in 380 as well. We get the manual, how to take it apart, and we get a warranty card. That's kind of cool. Let's see when it says if there's any dates on this. I'm just curious. No, I seriously wonder what would happen if you sent this in and filled it out. Let's see here. I really would love to know. As I said, I'll have to go online and find out and look at the serial number, but yeah, I don't see any dates on this. Sometimes they stamp it on the paperwork or have a publication date. Nope, nothing in this. So we'll just have to figure that out. Wait, here it looks like a, maybe this is, it's an old receipt, so maybe this is the original receipt. Let's see what this one says. Oh, it is. Okay, well, actually, this is the receipt for Jack. And he bought this way back in 1993. And he got a great deal on it. Man, good job, Jack. Well, of course, that's not adjusted for inflation. So, yeah, Jack, you got the original receipt in this. So that is cool. If you've had this, if this was in 1993, what is that? 30 years. You've had this thing for 30 years. Wow. Okay, well, I will get to review that one. And I've never seen it or heard of it. So that's going to be some cool content that not many channels are going to have. Now, the next one, I'm curious what you guys are going to think. And I have to explain why. And Jack has released me of all liability if this gun blows up. But I had to release him of all liability of possible injury to me. This is a Smith & Wesson. Now, the side of this barrel says 32 Smith & Wesson long, okay? So not a very common caliber. And let me open this thing up and let's see what the model is. This is the model 30-1 is what it says. The model 30-1. Never even heard of it. Looks like it's on the J-frame. Got a big old long forcing cone there. But the gun itself seems to be in good shape. The old style where you got the firing pin on the hammer. I like those little tiny wood grips there. Obviously, this is a round butt. It looks nice. I love the look of the classic Smith & Wessons. Yeah, and I like it too when the underlug either doesn't exist like this, it only comes out to here and you can actually see just the barrel. So you can see the ejector rod is unprotected. And I kind of like that look. It's like old school. But let's talk what makes this one interesting. So 32 Smith & Wesson long. However, I'm not going to shoot 32 Smith & Wesson long through this. I am going to shoot 32 H&R through it. So that is 32 H&R. And this is a longer case than the Smith & Wesson. So, at some point in this firearms history, somebody took this cylinder and bored it out. So there's like a little stop, a little gap in there, just like how you can't chamber 357 Magnum into a 38 Special. Well, this one's been bored out a little bit. Now, I did some research because Jack said, this is going to be not loaded, very, very powerful. This typically, which you can see it's a lead flat nose bullet, these really are not that much more powerful than Smith & Wesson 32 long. So, I did look up online, and this is actually kind of a semi-common thing that people have done. So these should drop in there, and they do. So I will be shooting this. I'm not really sure how I'm going to, I guess, title the video, because this is not an actual Smith & Wesson setup. So it is a Model 30-1, but it's not in an original chambering from Smith & Wesson. Jack says he shot it just fine, and I looked online, and there's a bunch of other people that have done this as well. So I guess this is a very popular, I'm going to use the word conversion, but not really. So if you guys ever heard of this or ever shot this exact model, Smith & Wesson 30-1 in 32 H&R, it's I guess the ammo he got me says it's 90 grain is the projectile weight. Trying to see if it has any data on it. I don't see anything. So anyway, that's what we got. So that one should be fun. What do you guys think? So I'm coming to you guys tonight, especially the people that are kind of revolver experts. What do you know about the Model 30? And what do you know about the conversion to 32 H&R? Okay, give me some information. I'm not going to get around to reviewing this for a couple weeks, but I need to do my research on it. So let me know. Let me know. So that's what I got on the table tonight. New stuff for me to review. And as you can see, this is completely different than the stuff that I get from other people. And that's what makes this cool. I love all guns. In fact, it kind of reminds me, because some of the videos that I lost when I lost my original channel, I'm trying to track down people that lent those to the channel. Like, I think my friend Matt, he had, and I want to redo this gun again. I think it was the Raven Arms, was it the like little 25 caliber Saturday Night Special? Like they're complete pieces of junk. And I remember I made a video on it, and I don't have that video. And I want to make another review of that gun. So I need to reach out to him and go, yeah, can I borrow that gun again? The only other thing I have on the table tonight, because I'm going to try to, right now it's like 10:15 at night, I'm going to try to start the garage portion of the Range Report on the Staccato C. I have the bullet point script all written up in my scribble, and I'm getting a little bit better at making these videos without stopping too many times. So I might be able to pump this out in the next hour and then go in and start to edit it, or at least transfer the files to my computer. But I got everything set up. I got the Staccato bag out here, got my script, the gun, my microphone, and that brings me to like the behind the scenes aspect of this video. It looks like in February of next year, when you guys will start to see, if you're not a patron supporter, you'll start to see the videos that I'm making now kind of start populating in February, because that's how far ahead I am on videos. I started to record with the new camera yesterday. I made my first video with the new camera that I showed that David had got me. And it's the same camera I've been using as before. So here's the old one right here. So I'm going to use this one mainly at the range so it can get beat up and hit by cartridges, and I'm going to limp this thing along as long as I possibly can. I got the new one already set up. It's exactly the same. The interface is the same. It's the same model, everything. But there is something different about it. And I'm not sure if I like it or not, or if it's just different and I have to get used to it. So I made a video with the new camera, and I set the microphone up. I put the exact settings from this camera onto the new camera and assumed it's going to do exactly the same thing. No. The new camera which I guess has more updated software, or maybe they've changed something, it processes the audio differently. I did a range report. I filmed the garage portion on which one was it? I totally forgot. It was one of Jack's guns. Anyway, it was one of his pistols that I turned back into him today. And when I started to go back and start editing that range footage, sorry, not the range footage, the garage portion footage, it sounded different. Like, it sounded more compressed. One of the things that I know, and I kind of hear it too when I edit, and it's this lapel microphone. Sometimes my breaths, because it's right here, it picks up my breaths, like it picks up the higher tones when I'm recording a lot more than I would want. And I hear a lot of the ambient noise of the garage. So I'll hear the echo, I have the metal garage doors, the car, the flat surfaces of the drywall, and the cabinets and so forth. So I get a little bit of an echo in here, and it's always picked it up. But I'm just used to that echo. The new camera, using the same microphone and the same settings, it like compresses that, and it doesn't have that echo in the sound. It sounded completely different to me, and then it would adjust the audio level. Where on this one, it always came through kind of loud, and I could, lower it in the editing software. But I always liked it a little bit louder because I could move it up if I had to, but it's easier to diminish it and not ruin the quality of the audio than if it's recorded too soft and then have to make it louder. But this one was like auto adjusting, where if I was talking, sometimes it would get real soft and then get real loud. And I was like, oh God, there's some setting in here I don't know. And I looked it up, and that's not the case. So I lowered the input audio on the new camera, and it works better, but the audio goes to my computer softer, and it seems to be okay, but it sounds more compressed, and it doesn't have the echo and the reverb. And I don't know if I like it or not, but I had my sons come downstairs, and they do some audio video editing, and I said, okay, I'm going to play two things for you. You tell me which one you like. And so I had come back out here and done two audio tests with this camera and the new camera. And I said the same thing. And they liked the sound of the new camera. They said they liked the softer, or the lack of the ambient sound. So for me, it's just kind of weird, but I'm curious what you guys are going to think. But Jack, who I sent the video to, said he couldn't tell the difference, and it didn't sound bad. But I had to redo it. Though the portion, I had to do that range report twice out here, because after I recorded everything and went in and then discovered this audio issue, it had too much variance. It would get real loud, real soft. I was like, I can't fix this. So I had to come out here and do it all again at the lower volume, and then it didn't do it. So, yeah, it's all a learning curve. It's all a learning curve. And as I say, I'm a one-man show around here, and I work really hard to try to put out the best content I can, and sometimes I'll make a mistake and I just get frustrated, or I have a problem and it takes me a lot longer to do what I want. So anyway, starting in mid-February, this will be the second video I'm making with the new camera. I think you're going to hear a difference in the audio, and I'm curious if you guys are going to like it or not. So there you go. That's the upcoming projects and the behind the scenes. So not a super exciting video tonight, but it is something. So what's the word of the day? The word of the day. We're going to say the word of the day is sound. Sound, because I had to bore you talking about the audio of the old versus the new camera. So what do you guys think? Let me know about anything you know about the firearms I showed you tonight, because I got to learn about these myself so I can share the best information with my viewers. So let me learn from you. So I guess that's it. So, as always, thanks for watching.